The 2026 Ballon d'Or is set to be given out in 2 months, yet nobody knows who the winner is going to be. Usually, at this point, we all already have an inkling of who is most likely to walk away with the award, but we have almost no clue this year, and in this video today, we want to look at why that is. This is why the 2026 Ballon d'Or is still undecided in August. The main culprit here is certainly the World Cup. Whenever there's a big international tournament, it usually has a huge effect on who the Ballon d'Or favourites are. We most recently saw this play out in 2024. After the regular season, everyone said that the Ballon d'Or was between Viní and Bellingham, with the Brazilian being the clear favourite. Then the Euros and Copa América happened and it ended up going to Rodri. The same thing happened in 2023. It felt like Erling Haaland would win it after helping City complete the European treble and breaking all sorts of goal-scoring records. But the World Cup happened and the Ballon d'Or ended up going to Messi. Now, we're seeing the same pattern again. Towards the end of the season, we were hearing names like Ousmane Dembélé, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, and even Declan Rice. But after the World Cup, none of those names are even showing up as the favourites. Everything is all muddled up right now. And because there was nobody who had the perfect season from club football through to the World Cup, we find ourselves in a place where you can poke holes in the argument for every single person in the running for the award. Rodri had an excellent World Cup and was named the player of the tournament, but he was injured for almost the entirety of the 2025-26 season and didn't really contribute much. Even at that, Man City crashed out in the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League and failed to win the Premier League. Kylian Mbappe is another guy whose name has come up. Individually, he had a really untouchable season, arguably the best. He finished as the top scorer in La Liga, top scorer in the Champions League, and top scorer at the World Cup. He also broke the record for most goals in World Cup history and was voted the third best player at the tournament. However, he failed to win a single team prize, not La Liga, not the Champions League, not the World Cup, not even the Spanish Supercopa or Copa del Rey. Without a single piece of silverware, it's hard to hand him the Ballon d'Or despite how good he was individually. One of the criteria for the award is team achievements and trophies, and Mbappe had 0 in that aspect this season. Heck, he didn't even reach any final apart from the Spanish Supercopa. And then, of course, you have his international teammate Ousmane Dembélé. He is the reigning Ballon d'Or holder, so his name will always come up, and he had a good season in the trophy front. He won the league and the UEFA Champions League. But the problem is that he was hardly the main man in any of the campaigns. Kvara was PSG's main guy in the Champions League, even winning the Player of the Season award in the competition. And of course, Mbappe was France's main guy at the World Cup by a country mile. Dembélé was named Ligue 1 Player of the Season, which was met by a lot of pushback from fans who could not believe the award went to him after a season where he started only 11 games all campaign and was not even one of the top 5 highest goal scorers in the league. All of these have made him fall down the pecking order, much lower than he was when the season wrapped up. Kvara too, of course, suffered that fate. He had an all-time Champions League run, especially in the knockout rounds, but the fact that he was not at the World Cup has pretty much ruled him out of the running for the 2026 Ballon d'Or. But for a lot of people, Harry Kane is now the big favourite for the award, but there are a lot of reasons why he's not the perfect candidate either. We'll get into that in a second, but if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, now is the perfect time to go do that, so you never miss out on our amazing content. Football fans, this is the deal you don't want to miss. Whether you're hunting for an iconic World Cup jersey or the colours of your favourite club, Goal90 Shop has the perfect pick for you. And right now, everything is a flat 15% off, with free shipping anywhere in the world. So don't wait. Hit the link in the description, head over to Goal90 Shop and grab your favourite jersey today. Done? Okay, now back to the video. You see, Harry Kane's argument is pretty solid. He completed the domestic treble in Germany and finished as top scorer in the Bundesliga. He also won the European Golden Shoe and finished third at the World Cup. But here's the thing, he wasn't the main man in any major competition he featured in. Michael Olise was named Bundesliga Player of the Season. Kvara was named Champions League Player of the Season. Rodri was named World Cup Player of the Tournament. Heck, he wasn't even the main man in any of his teams. Michael Olise was named Bayern Munich Player of the Season, while Jude Bellingham was obviously England's best player this year. If you aren't the best player in your own team, how can you be the best player in the world? On top of that, he failed to win or even get to the final of any of the 2 biggest competitions of the year, the World Cup and the UEFA Champions League. So, despite him having outscored everyone in Europe, these shortcomings still poke serious holes into his argument. But then you have Lamine Yamal, the teenager who finished second last year and is in the conversation again this year. He won the World Cup, La Liga and the Spanish Super Copa. That's more trophies than most of the other candidates. Individual accolades, he also has them. He was named La Liga Player of the Season and finished as the league's top assist provider. Put together, it seems like a really solid CV, doesn't it? But there are two massive issues here. First of all, Barcelona were disappointing in the biggest competition, failing to even reach the semi-finals of the Champions League. And then the second issue is that Lamine Yamal failed to impress at the World Cup. He was not the best player in his team. Heck, he wasn't even the best teenager in that Spain team. So even if he won the trophy, you have to admit that the likes of Rodri, Mbappe, Kane, Dembele, Bellingham and even Messi were much better than him at the tournament. Speaking of Messi, even at the age of 39, he has refused to go away from the conversation. After his performance against England in the semi-final of the World Cup, bookmakers had him as the favourite to win the 2026 Ballon d'Or. But here's the thing. Even at that point, everyone knew that for Messi to really have a real shot at the award this year, he had to win the World Cup. Falling to Spain in that final made it a very difficult task for him, mainly because he no longer plays his football in Europe. Yes, he won the MLS Cup in the season under review and was named MLS MVP, but those trophies and awards outside Europe simply don't hold as much weight compared to those achieved in European leagues and the UEFA Champions League. Maybe if he had won the World Cup Golden Boot and Slash or Golden Ball, it would have helped his case, but whether or not you think he deserved to be named the player of the tournament over Rodri, him not winning it surely hurts his Ballon d'Or case. But don't forget that this award is voted for by journalists and there are people who revere him, so he's likely to still be in the top 5. And it's great that we bring up the journalists now because that's one thing that can still sway the outcome of this award, leaving things very undecided at the moment. Will we see teammates split votes opening the way for someone else? That is very possible. In 2024, we strongly believe that one of the reasons Rodri won was because a lot of the Real Madrid affiliated votes were split between Bellingham and Viní. The question now is, could that happen again this year? Could the Spain affiliated votes be split between Rodri and Yamal? And remember that Rodri is pretty much already a Barcelona player now. So who knows? The Barcelona affiliated votes could also be split. The French affiliated votes could maybe be split among Dembele, Mbappe and even Olise. And maybe English votes could be split among Harry Kane, Bellingham and Declan Rice. Absolutely anything can still happen. That's why this year feels so different. At this time last year, most people knew that Dembele would win, or at the very least we knew that it was between him and Lamine Yamal. Right now, it is still very difficult to streamline things to just 2 players. Maybe this could make for the most suspense-filled Ballon d'Or ceremony in years, or perhaps it is building us up for what will be perceived as a very controversial Ballon d'Or. Either way, we now want to hear from you guys. Who do you think will go home with the Ballon d'Or this year? Give us your prediction in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye!